The name of a popular sports park in Lloydminster could soon be changing. City Council was presented with information on a proposal for naming rights of Legion Ballpark. Local business-driven Energy is interested in the naming rights as the city is always looking for advertising and sponsorship opportunities as a way to generate revenue without raising taxes.
We don't have a lot of revenue sources, taxes being the number one, second by government grants, so we know we're under continuous pressure from that as well. So having the ability to have user fees, sponsorships and things like that is terrific, and it's great to see a local business step forward.
The new proposed name of the park is Driven Energy Legion Ballpark. The Lloydminster branch of the Royal Canadian Legion submitted a letter of support for the new title as long as Legion remains a part of the name.
Information that was presented by the Legion branch number 39 here in Lloydminster. It was developed after the Second World War to honor those veterans that had paid the price or had lost limbs so that people could enjoy the freedoms.
City Council still needs to approve the naming rights at a future council meeting. Any local businesses or organization interested in sponsoring a city asset is encouraged to contact the city. The Lloydminster Museum and Archives will be moving into a new building over the coming weeks, with changes coming to exhibits and galleries. Our Josh Howerluck has the details.
The Lloydminster Museum and Archives formerly known as the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre, is moving to this building to better accommodate the needs of the community in terms of art, culture, and recreational activities.
The new building will feature a permanent gallery dedicated to the history and heritage of Lloydminster, as well as a new temporary gallery that will have constant rotation of different pieces from local and regional artists.
The permanent gallery will largely stay the same. We will be offering guided tours, educational activities, as well as there's interactive hands-on stations in the permanent gallery. And then the temporary gallery, we have many shows booked up until October of 2023.
In addition to the two art galleries, the new building will also feature multiple art studios for the community to take a variety of art classes for kids and adults. The new building for the museum and archives is currently still under construction, but the plan will be to have the building complete and ready to open to the public by the end of November. Josh Howerluck, Primetime Local News.
Residents tend to rely on furnaces, fireplaces, or other heating equipment, so Sask Energy is reminding people to be careful. This is a carbon monoxide safety reminder. Since it's an odorless, tasteless, and poisonous gas, it's mostly produced when fuel-burning appliances malfunction, which is most likely to occur with colder weather.
And it can actually cause some physical ailments. So low doses, I guess, would cause physical symptoms such as nausea, headache, flu-like symptoms, right? But at a higher rate or over a long term, carbon monoxide poisoning can be fatal, and it's preventable.
There are 1,300 carbon monoxide incident calls annually in Saskatchewan. Sask Energy wants to give ways of avoiding such situations by offering safety measures in the case of an exposure.
Monoxide detector. You can determine if carbon monoxide is in your home even before any physical symptoms start to appear. Another great way is ensuring vents around your home are clear of debris, and as the weather gets cooler out there, free of snow and ice. Additionally, is making sure that those fuel burning appliances like your furnace, your fireplaces are properly maintained. So bringing professionals in each year to ensure that there's nothing going on with those appliances.
Residents can go online to saskenergy.com for more information on carbon monoxide safety and other prevention tips. Now, to check in with Shelby Clark to see if your furnace might be kicking into drive this weekend, here's Shelby.
Thanks so much, Tate. Yes, taking a first look at your weather forecast for here in the border city, we are sitting at 6 degrees with a mix of some sun and clouds. So you may want to be turning on your furnace this weekend as we are cooling down and heading into the winter season here. But we have been seeing a lot more sun today, so it has been feeling a lot warmer. And I'd say we are getting some more beautiful fall days. So hopefully everybody's getting out there and enjoying it while they can. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan, we're seeing a lot of 6s on the board here. St. Paul is at 7 degrees, while Vegreville is at 5 degrees, and Provost is a little bit cooler at 4, while Lac La Biche is the warmest, sitting at 8. And then switching over to the Saskatchewan side here, 6 degrees as well in Isle Cross there, and Pearson, Meadow Lake. Green Lake is at 4 degrees, St. Walburg is at 5, while Maidstone is at 4 as well. Macklin is at 7, while North Battleford's a bit cooler, sitting at 3. And speaking of North Battleford, overnight they will be going down to a low of -5 with a little bit more clear skies, although tomorrow they will warm up there to a high of 8 degrees there, and they will be seeing a sunnier day compared to what they've been seeing a sunnier day tomorrow compared to what they've been seeing today. Now Cold Lake overnight they'll be going down to a low of -3 and seeing more clear skies as well, and tomorrow they will warm up to a high of 9 there, but they will be seeing a little bit more cloud coverage compared to what they've been seeing today. And here in the border city we'll be going down to a low of -3 as well, although with the wind chill it will be feeling around -8 throughout the night. We won't be seeing much clouds in sight, although tomorrow we will be starting off on Friday though for the weekend with a high of 8 there, and we will be seeing a mix of some sun and cloud. And switching over to our 3-day forecast here, as I was saying, Friday we'll be starting off on a warmer note with a high of 8 there and a low of -3. We will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds tomorrow. Saturday, although we will be cooling down, we will also be seeing around a 60% chance of some precipitation with a little bit more cloud coverage. But the weekend will end on a warmer note on Sunday with a high of 10 degrees, and we will be seeing a little bit more sun. That's the first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. A recycling organization is working to provide farmers with more convenient disposal locations, as Jillian Code has more on agriculture sustainability.
Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Barry Friesen, who is the Executive Director of Clean Farms. Barry, thanks for joining me.
Well, my pleasure.
So first off, could you just give me a brief synopsis about what Clean Farms does?
Clean Farms is an industry stewardship organization that specializes in collecting agricultural waste, mainly plastics, from farms across Canada.
So what exactly is available for farmers to recycle?
Well, it depends where you're at, and right now, and we're talking about Lloydminster. Is that it?
Yeah.
So we have several programs that we're offering, and we're certainly hoping to do more in the future. The longest standing program, which has been offered since 1989 in your area, is a under 23 pesticide and under 23 liter pesticide and fertilizer containers. Characterize this as a typical pesticide and fertilizer container, liquid material. It's made of plastic, and in your area, any farmer can drop it off at the ag retail, the location they bought it in Lloydminster, and we require that it be triple or pressure rinsed, and they simply bring it back and put it in the bags that are provided, and we will collect them and have them recycled into new plastic products. We also collect over 23 liter pesticide and fertilizer bulk containers, commonly 115 liter to 208 liter, all the way up to 1,000 liter IBCs. These caged totes, they call them, and they're able to take those back to the ag retailer locations as well. In addition, we now have a new program for seed, pesticide, and inoculant bags. These typically come in sizes of 50-pound multi-walled paper bags, all the way up to 1,000 kilogram. There's a brand name called Super Sacks, or big bags, they call them. They're able to bring those back as well, only if they held seed, pesticide, or inoculant. And now we also have a pilot program going on. Well, in Lloydminster, which straddles both Alberta and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, it's permanent. In Alberta, it's pilot program, but we have collection locations for grain bags and twine that they can take. Farmers can have them. For twine, we supply bags that they can usually get at their local ag retail, that they'll put their twine in And the grain bags, of course, these are large pieces of plastic. They roll them up and take them back to a collection site. Where the collection sites are available on our website, cleanfarms.ca.
Yeah, that seems very accessible for farmers. Now, I'm wondering for products that can't be recycled, is there research underway to, maybe expand what is eligible for recycling?
You bet. And, in fact, we've recently completed a study where we identified that there's 62,000 tons of agricultural plastics generated every year in Canada. A lot in the prairies because of heavy ag area and heavy use. And we're currently collecting about 10% of that. So there's 90% more to go. So you think about it's not just twine and grain bags. We have pilot programs or permanent programs to collect that now. But there's bale and silage wrap, for dairy farmers or beef farmers that might use that. There's netting, which is plastic as well. Currently, there's no good recycling markets for it, so we're working on that. There's all kinds of other types of plastics that are used on the farm. We're doing a good portion of it in the prairies, but there's we could get more collections on the existing products we offer. So if you're not recycling and there is options available in your area, we highly encourage farmers to participate. And number two, there'll be more programs in the future, and we're working really hard on that.
That was all the questions that I had. Is there any other aspect of this you'd like to touch on?
Well, no, other than the fact that I would also say that what happens once we collect this material, it's not just about collecting it and making it disappear. We have to process it, and the positive thing here is it's being processed locally. There's several recycling operations in Alberta right now that are managing some of these materials that we're able to send them to, and ultimately the goal in this recycling world now is what we call circular economy, making a new product out of the old product. And we're actually working on a product program right now that will see hopefully this container be made from a good portion of used containers. And the technology is there now to make that happen. So we're working through a project there. On the grain bag situation, a lot of grain bags in Canada are made right in Edmonton. And they're looking at sourcing some materials from the old grain bags. So the recyclers that already exist in Alberta are working with the manufacturers to see if they can make new grain bags, bale wrap, you name it, from the old material. So, and what that does is not only environmentally, it's a lot better than using from virgin resin, making these products, but also creates local jobs. And Canada is all about strengthening our economy and making it sustainable. And that's all part of the sustainable solution.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because that's very important. Bringing the container to the recycling place is only half the story. And I guess, as you said, the other half is that, it stays local and then is produced locally as well, or reproduced locally, I guess I should say. Barry, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Now, for my favorite part of the day, let's take a look at some agriculture prices. The Lakeland College men's soccer team will have a chance to reach the podium this year after winning their playoff match this past Sunday. In the North Final this coming weekend, the Rustlers will be taking on the Nate Ooks. Evan Kenny has more ahead of the game.
The Rustlers locked down defensively last Sunday in their 1-0 victory over the King's University. Lakeland scored in the 16th minute and held on for their third shutout of the season.
We did it well, but we didn't have the ball much. Finished really well in the first half and went up by a goal, and then just left about 8 guys in our, 8-9 players in our defending third, and kept them wide.
Fueled by the fans, both teams cranked up the intensity for a heated second half.
We have 16 rookies. Their ability to keep the emotional piece together while maintaining the positive energy is going to be hit and miss. The players with more experience are now at a point where we can keep the emotional piece, not play with anger, and still have success. And overall, we did well with that. But yeah, there was emotions going into it, and within that second half, for the most part, it played out well for us.
In the regular season, Lakeland suffered one loss, a 5-0 defeat coming at the hands of Nate. Wagner says for his team's success, they need to capitalize on their chances.
Well, Nate has a lot of class within their play, and by that I mean that they can punish you with less chances on goal than our team can. Our percentages have to be high. If we get 5 chances, can we get 2 goals? If it's going to take 10 or 15 chances, then the outcome won't favor us.
Win or lose, the Rustlers will play for a medal regardless. What matters now is the color. In the 11-year team history, the men have won the bronze medal twice. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now for your second look at weather, here is Shelby Clark.
So much, Tate. Taking another look at your weather forecast, we are going to be starting off with taking a look at temperatures across central Alberta and Saskatchewan here. Most on the Alberta side are seeing some warmer temperatures actually here. Rocky Mountain House is at 16 degrees. 3 of them are sitting at 15, so they are seeing some warmer temperatures, while Whitecourt is at 14 and Athabasca is still a little bit cooler at 8 degrees. But switching over to the Saskatchewan side here, they are seeing a lot cooler temperatures here, mostly sitting at 6 and 5 degrees there, while Saskatoon's a bit warmer, sitting at 8 as well, and North Battleford is at 4 degrees. Although switching to our northern region of the provinces, they are seeing around the same as what we're seeing in the central region here. Uranium City, La Loche, Buffalo Narrows are all at 6 degrees, 7 in Stony Rapids, 5 in La Ronge and Flin Flon, while South End and Wollaston Lake are at 2 and 4 degrees, so a little bit cooler in Wollaston Lake there. Switching over to this end here, Grand Prairie is a little bit warmer at 11 degrees, 2 in Peace River, while High Level and Fort Chipewyan are at 9 degrees, as well as in Slave Lake, and Fort McMurray is at 8. And switching over to our southern region of the provinces, they are seeing some warmer temperatures as well as usual. Lethbridge is at 17 degrees, 16 and 15 in Calgary and Medicine Hat, 7 in Coronation, so a little bit cooler in Coronation there, and Banff is sitting at 11 degrees. And switching over to this side here, Swift Current is around the same, sitting at 15, while the rest are at that single-digit point here with Kindersley and Moose Jaw at 9 degrees, 7 in Regina, while Yorkton is at 5, and 8 in Estevan. But as we go back across the region, the temperatures overnight tonight as we head into the winter season. We are cooling down quite a bit for our lows, but we have been seeing around the same throughout the week. Meadow Lake will be seeing a low of -7, so a little bit cooler in Meadow Lake throughout the night. Isle La Crosse has seen a low of -2 tonight. Pearson will be seeing a low of -4, while most will be seeing a low of -5 throughout the night tonight. And Bonnyville and Wainwright will be seeing a low of -3. But most spots will be seeing some clear skies throughout the night. Won't be seeing much cloud coverage, except for Provost, Murnum, and Wainwright will be seeing some clouds in sight. As we switch over throughout the night to temperatures tomorrow across the region, we will be seeing around the same as what we've been seeing today, ranging from around 6 to 8 degrees. Some spots like Edmonton, Wainwright, Provost, Macklin will be a little bit warmer at 10 and 11 degrees tomorrow, but most will be seeing around a mix of some sun and cloud. And ending off with our 7-day forecast for here in the Border City. Friday will be starting off the weekend with a high of 8 with a mix of some sun and cloud there. Saturday will be cooling down just a bit to 6 degrees, but we will be seeing a high chance of some precipitation, unfortunately, on Saturday, although we will end off on a warmer note on Sunday for the weekend with 10 degrees with a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. And next week we'll be seeing some double-digit temperatures there, with Monday starting off with 11 degrees, a little bit more cloud coverage although, and Tuesday we will be seeing around a 65% chance of some precipitation as well, with a high of 10, and then we'll be keeping on that same track with 10 degrees through Wednesday and Thursday, and on Thursday we will be seeing a higher chance of some precipitation as well. That is another look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Daryl Oster, and he's here to talk socks as the Lloydminster Lions Club has kickstarted their annual sock drive. So, Daryl, first off, thanks for being here, but what can you tell people about this year's sock drive?
Similar to previous years, we've got 4 different locations. We've got bins there. They're going to be at factory workwear as both locations there. The main one and also their discount place are behind Husky Truck Stop there, as well as Exhaust Masters has a bin, and so does the Legacy Center. And basically, if you've got extra socks, we ask for new socks, and all we ask is, when next time you're out shopping or whatever, get an extra few pairs of socks, 1 pair, whatever you feel like you can contribute, and throw them in the bin. Last year, we raised 880 pairs of socks. And so they can be men's socks, women's socks, kids' socks, because we just distribute them to the different shelters and stuff. So, for example, the men's shelter, as well as, we've also gave it to the Interval Home and stuff. So, so basically that's it. Throw, if you're in the area, throw them in the bin and stuff, and then we gather them all up and distribute them to those in need, and try to make some residents that can't afford socks to have warm feet in the wintertime. So it's coming. It feels like that anyways.
Yep, winter is definitely coming. But on the subject of those organizations that the Lions Club donates these socks to, could you just touch base on the people that are maybe struggling that they help support?
Yeah, so the Lloydminster Lions Club basically just gives back to citizens in Lloydminster. And last year, for example, we had the Lloydminster Drop-In Center, the men's shelter, and the Interval Home that we donated socks to. And yeah, so it's just basically we'll, after we gather the socks, and we'll contact them and say, hey, could you use some socks, right, for anybody that they're serving in the community. And so we're really, the Lloydminster Lions Club is just as other service organizations do, just really looking to ask the citizens of Lloydminster just to give, and then we just donate them on their behalf to those 3 organizations. So.
And just before we say goodbye, for anyone who might want to learn more about the sock drive or about the Lions Club in general, where can they go online to do so?
Yeah, I mean, if you search Lions Club, we have a Facebook page and stuff like that in town, and it'll be on there and stuff, and just check that out. And we'll probably post it on like things like Lloydminster Now and stuff like that, just so you can kind of know what's happening and stuff. But just look for us and kind of those local media outlets between Facebook and Lloydminster Now, and you should be able to see more information about it. And our contact, you reach out to a Lions member or stuff like that, myself or JC or Rick or any of the Lions members and stuff, you'll see us around, and we'd be happy to share information. But that's what I would suggest, is go onto our Facebook page.
Thanks so much for doing this, Daryl.
Thanks, Tate. It was my pleasure, and look forward to collecting some socks and helping people stay warm this winter.
Lauren Rodick-Eberly is back with us this week, and we've talked about a number of different things in the past couple of weeks, Lauren, everything from moving to healthy eating. And today we're going to talk about activity and exercise when it comes to kids, because this is something that, a lot of younger kids will be on the go, but if you don't get that habit instilled early, they might not want to continue doing it. So how do you find toddler-friendly activities and things to keep them interested and active? What are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, like I said other weeks when we were talking about food, it's the kind of the same with activities. Your kids want to do what you're doing and what they see. So if you can get outside daily, and even if it's just a walk or heading to the park, or if it's something bigger like a bike ride or a hike, they're going to want to do those things as well.
So how often should they exercise, and how do you kind of get them started into that routine? Like, I know you talked about just going out, whenever, but should you try and get them into, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to do this, or should you give them a bit of a break and just whenever, you guys want to go out and do activities, just whatever suits your schedule?
Well, when they're younger, I think it's all just about moving your body. Actually, even us as adults, it's about moving our body. So I just try and make sure that we do something moving our body every single day. If that can be outside, ideally, then you get the bonus of moving your body and the fresh air. But if not, and it's creating an obstacle course in our house or playing mini sticks, which is a huge hit in our house, then that's what we can do too.
And now you have a toddler, Lauren, so I'd like to focus specifically on that. Um, Sometimes you see families out and they are trying to do maybe things that are a little bit different level. They want to push the toddlers to do as much as they can. So how do you find things that are family friendly, that everybody can enjoy? And, it's not boring per se. When you're taking the toddler out, you're not, rolling your eyes and, oh, we have to do this again. How do you make kind of things fun for the whole family?
Yes, I've had this discussion before because it is really important that you're going a little bit at their pace when they're at that age, because they're wanting to explore and see all these things for the first time. And you don't really want to rush them through it because you want them to enjoy it and want to engage with it in the future. So I say to be patient and let all that go and kind of go at their pace. But I think the way to make it fun for the whole family is to do the things that would be fun for the whole family. So even if you love golfing, maybe you make it toddler friendly by doing a little mini golf, once again, obstacle course, even if it's just in the backyard and you set up a little spots. But anything that the whole family can love, just kind of create it so that it's safe and doable for all ages.
Well, and another thing when it comes to activities, there's the option of teaching them to sing or do things with art and musical instruments, which I also know is part of your background. So
Yeah.
how important is it to incorporate those things into the life of a toddler? And then how soon do you start with that?
I'm so passionate about music that I'm incorporating music into Colin's day every single day. So I really don't think there's an age that's too young. I've taught parent and child classes where they're 6 months old, and it's really just about engaging with them and showing them the music and doing it with them. So I don't think there's a too young. I think whether you're making music with them on a little toy xylophone, or you're just playing music, or you're singing and dancing, that's great. If you want to take a class, that's great too, but it's not really required. I say just kind of bring it in. And I also want to say that there's not a too late, because I have had people come to me and say, oh, my kid's 10 and they haven't done music before. Can we start it? Of course, it's never too late.
One thing, Lauren, that is important to encourage with at any age is body positivity. And I know it might not be something that toddlers quite understand, but as we see, they remember a lot of things that you might not think that they do. So how do you encourage body positivity, even with someone who is just as young as a toddler?
Yes, I think our language is super important. And that's why even when they're a toddler and they might, we think, not understand exactly what we're saying, it's important that we start practicing that language. So I try and not talk about shapes and, like I said, even good or bad foods. I try and talk about, with fitness, us being strong and us moving our bodies. So when Collins and I go out on a hike and she's working hard, I'm like, wow, look how strong you are. And I think that's really important to talk about it in that way, about what our bodies can do for us.
Well, Lauren, thank you once again for speaking with us. And once again, if anybody is looking to reach you, what's the best way to find you? It's always enjoyable to see your posts. I don't know how you come up with so many different ideas, not just for parenting, but for recipes and for all different kinds of things. So how do people find you?
Thank you so much. Yes, everything is Lauren Rodick Eberly. So laurenrodickeberly.com, and on Instagram, Lauren Rodick Eberly.
And we'll now be ending off with taking a final look at your 7-day forecast here for Friday. As I was saying, we will be seeing a nice temperature on Friday to start off this weekend with a high of 8 with a mix of some sun and cloud. We will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. Saturday will cool down just a bit, and we will be seeing around a 60% chance of some precipitation on Saturday, unfortunately. But we will get back on track on Sunday to end off that weekend with a high of 10 on Sunday with a mix of some sun and cloud. And next week we'll be starting off seeing some double-digit temperatures for the whole week there, with Monday seeing seeing 11 degrees with a little bit more cloud coverage. Tuesday we'll be seeing 10 degrees, but we will be seeing some precipitation as well on Tuesday. And Wednesday and Thursday will be on that same track with 10 degrees, although we will be still seeing some cloud coverage. And on Thursday we will be seeing around a 60% chance of some precipitation.
That's all the time we have for now, but we've got more local news coming up for you in the next hour. For Primetime Local News, I'm Tate Lake Craft.